My name is Gitau Thabanja, the manager Nakuru City. We are here at Kivu today to participate in a workshop for the stakeholder for the UNESCO Creative Cities. It should be noted that Nakuru did apply to be a creative city, to be designated a creative city by UNESCO, and we successfully got the designation late last year. The reason why we are meeting here together with the commission, the Kenya National Commission for the UNESCO, is to is to be trained on what is expected of us to do now that we have the designation of the creative city at the category of the arts, the focal arts. So what you're doing, the training here is making us understand our commitment, living to the commitment that we gave and that we applied for the UNESCO Creative City. In so doing, we envisage to have a policy on the creative city, that is the Nakuru Creative Cities, Cultural and Creative Cities policy. We're also going to make a roadmap on the activities that we are going to be engaging in for the 4 years that we've been designated the creative city on the focal arts. Through these meetings and engagement with all the stakeholders, the CBOs, the NGOs that are within the city, and also the residents of Nakuru, we are going to come out with a framework on how we are going to integrate all those activities in the creative space in Nakuru City. So that's the reason why we are here, and we look forward for more meetings. And through the policy document development, we'll be inviting all our stakeholders, the residents of Nakuru, to share with us their imaginations on what a creative city should be, so that we can be the model city in terms of the creativity and the creative designations.
So in lay terms, what is a creative city? Describe it to like an ordinary, the man in the street.
So a creative city is a designation that brings the creative industry in that city to fore. In so doing, you mainstream the creativity in the decision making in the government. For example, when you talk about the urban planning, you have the creative city urban planning aspect integrated into this. You talk about even our building, we also need to have some creativity in it, some cultural mainstreaming in other activities. You talk about even the food that we have in the city. We need to have a forum where we are bringing all these communities together, so that we can celebrate the diversity that is the city. It should also be noted that Nakuru is one of the most cosmopolitan cities that we have in the country, and also is strategically located at the center of this country. So we are able to attract different communities from different parts of the country, and in so doing, we need to celebrate that diversity that is to us a rich community that is going to help us to also integrate this country.
So, what is the impact expected on this partnership between UNESCO, county, and the civil society, and the artists themselves, the creatives?
The partnership the partnership is going to bring everyone who is in the city together, and in so doing, we are going to get different ideas that we are going to use when we are making our decision, and that now bring the aspect of the inclusivity. If you look at the goal 11, the sustainable development goal 11, it talk about inclusive city. So in so doing and having this designation or these meetings, we are also living up to the expectations of the SDG goal 11.
So like maybe I used too much words. What changes can people see once this thing is implemented?
The changes, the city board, and I appreciate the city board, has approved to have an annual cultural week. In so doing, it's like the way you see in Turkana, they have the cultural week, and the same we are going to be doing here. That is going to bring all the communities that we have in the city together. And some of the changes you'll find in our street is the creative aspect. For example, some painting that you start seeing along our street are going to be done by the creative industry. So we are going to harness the talent that we have within the city, and that will also make our city to look better. So that is branding. So you find Nakuru will have the cultural branding, and that is going to give it a global identity in terms of the creativity is concerned.
So one of the problems in Nakuru is about spaces. We don't have adequate spaces like in the streets compared to the other ones. Like for example, if you go to Berlin, London, the bigger cities, they have spaces where people can dance and do anything. You just integrate. There's no traffic allowed. In Nakuru, if you want to do anything, you have to maybe go to Kenyatta Avenue. Traffic has to stop. Everything has to stop if you're doing something extra about the creatives. Okay, we appreciate that the county has started like paving space for, and creating walkways along Kenyatta Avenue, at least for the time being, in Nakuru. But is that enough, or what is the idea? Is that idea of creating more space for the performers or the creatives within the CBD in mind?
Yes. Now, it's true that we also we are constrained as far as the urban spaces is concerned. And I'll say with the review of the boundaries, because now the municipality was designated the city status. The first activity that we are engaging in is the review of the boundaries, so that we can have we can bring on board the peri-urban areas into the city. So that will call for new replanning of the city, and in this replanning, in cognizance of the need to have more urban spaces, I believe that is going to be taken into consideration. So we'll have more urban spaces designated for green spaces. You talk about provision of the mobility, and still now the cultural center spaces are also going to be brought on board, so that we can even have an Nakuru City cultural village, so that we can be using that village to celebrate our creativity and the diversity within the city.
Any chance of the Nakuru getting an art gallery?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do those. So those are some of the items, or some of the planning and the land use we are going to designate for the city, so that we can appreciate and also give spaces for all the stakeholders who are also operating in different sectors. So even an art gallery, those are going to be part and parcel of some of the spaces that we are going to set to designate.
So finally, Mr. Thabanja, before I release you, I'd like to know, is there a plan for those walkways along Kenyatta Avenue that are being created? Is there a plan to ban vehicular traffic from Kenyatta Avenue in the near or distant future?
No. We are having currently the City Board of Nakuru is developing a vision 2050 for Nakuru City. In this vision 2050, it's going to be developed in form of pillars. One of the main pillar that we are focusing on is the mobility for the city. And so through this mobility, we are going to have a comprehensive master plan. That is a comprehensive mobility master plan for the city that is going to consider cognizance of the challenges we've been having. You talk about even the jam, and also opening up some other places that are going to be used by our vehicles as they leave the town. And also we are also appreciating the role of the people who don't have the vehicles, and no wonder we are doing the NMT along the Kenyatta Avenue. That is also going to be done along other streets within the city, so that we can make all those cities both mobile for the vehiculars and also the pedestrian.
NMT is
Non-motorized transport.
Transport.
Yeah.
So finally, what is your message as the, let's say, almost the city manager or the city mayor, as he should be, the city CEO? What message would you tell Nakuru residents about what the board is doing to transform their lives to better them, and what should they expect in the near or distant future?
So my message to the residents of Nakuru is that first of all, I appreciate their support in all what we are doing. They've been very supportive and sharing their idea. And once we call this public participation, we invite them to come and share with us what they feel or what they expect in their city, because this is the city of the city for the residents of Nakuru. And also, I call upon them to also maintain peace during this electioneering period, given considering that we have so many communities within Nakuru. We need to live as brothers and sisters. And also, I assure them on behalf of the board that we are going to make sure that we integrate them, or we have them in our decision making, so that we can have inclusive planning, inclusive participations in all what we are doing, so that they can own this city because it is theirs.
But then, before you leave, We heard from UNESCO officials that they tried to introduce this same idea in Nairobi, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Just take us through that process that Nakuru underwent. Now that we are doing it, maybe the only county in Kenya we are doing it, I think.
No. In fact, designation for the Nakuru city as a creative city, it is in East Africa. There is no other city that have been designated the creative city. And as it has been mentioned, other cities have tried to do this application to have these applications, but they have not been successful. First and foremost, I thank the leadership of His Excellency the Governor, who gave the political goodwill in this process and has been very supportive, and also even recommending Nakuru to be a city that has been commended here, mentioned here that the governor's commitment and signing and commending the city to be designated. That was a plus to have this designation done. So I appreciate his leadership, and also the stakeholders, the composition of the professionals that were put in the committee that was making this application. They really came in handy in ensuring that we have complied with all those all the requirements. The university, the Egerton University, the NGOs that were there, and also the public, the public professionals that we got, they really came in hard in this application, and I believe through that concerted effort and the support we got from the government, that's the reason why Nakuru was able to meet the threshold as required by the UNESCO for the designation of the creative city.
So, thank you so much, sir. Endeleni kufanya kazi nzuri.
Thank you.
As a board,
Thank you. We appreciate you.
all the best.